Today's episode of the Sunday Night Talk season premiere. That's right, it's week 1 and it is here. I'm here. Omar Carmona is here. We have a lot to discuss because the first day of the NFL happened today. We flipped on the recording as soon as the Sunday night game ended. Actually, we started a little early. That game sucked. But a lot of other games happened and they did not suck. Before we get to the episode, don't forget, if you're new to my YouTube channel, subscribe to it because all my comedy is up there. Stand-up clips are up there, shorts are up there, my interview series is up there, and the Sunday Night Talk, which you're about to hear, goes up there every week as well. So we had a lot to discuss today. My team won, Omar's team won, a couple of head-scratching losses happened today. Stuff I didn't see coming, not to mention the awards. That's right. New awards for 2023. A fun game for 2023. And a special segment on the show where Omar needs to talk me down because I had a lot to overreact to today. You're going to find out what exactly I'm talking about. It all happens right here on the Sunday Night Talk for week 1 in the NFL season premiere right now. Tuesday night, week 1. It is 8:14 on the West Coast, meaning it is time for the Sunday Night Talk. Omar Carmona joins me for week 1. We are just wrapping up Cowboys, Giants, mercifully coming to an end of week 1. Omar Carmona, what are your feelings now that week 1 is in the books? You won, your team won, so talk to me about that.
I feel better because now Jimmy Garoppolo's your problem, not my problem.
Oh, already starting out of the gates, already with the punches. What are you talking about? Jimmy G had a great win today.
It's fool's gold, Patrick. It's fool's gold.
Well, I'll ask you this: you already start coming out very hot. Do you think Derek Carr would have won that game?
Oh, that's a tough question. I don't know.
Is it a tough question?
He wasn't winning those games the last few years.
Mm-hmm. All right. Before we get to the games, though, because it is week 1, so this is our first show of. We're in year 4. This is the 4th year we're doing this. So we usually start off talking about our Sundays. Then we're going to talk about the Sunday night game. Then we're going to talk about our games. And then we have awards to give out. I have a special fun game for you to play this week as well. But okay. I mean, let's just start off because this is week 1. And it almost felt like we were going back to school today. Like it was our first day back to school. We have new clothes on. There's new kids in our class. Yeah. You have your jersey on. Is that a McCaffrey jersey?
That's a McCaffrey.
Oh, so you're sold on McCaffrey.
So and the number 23, and it's the old school, the vintage.
Very nice. All right. Well, you are very sold on the season there. You're so sold, you just left the room and you went to the bathroom. Oh, you're back. All right. Well, this is our first show, so we're getting our feet wet overall. So it's Sunday. It still feels like summer, very hot here on the West Coast too. So, I mean, there's 2 ways you can go about week 1. I found you can either totally overreact to everything that happened today, or you can totally underreact to everything that happened today because it's only week 1. So where's your state of mind right now?
It is not an overreaction to say the 49ers are going to be in the Super Bowl. Not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction to say the Niners will be in the Super Bowl after week 1, after they beat Pittsburgh, which, by the way, everybody was high as a kite on all this week on Pittsburgh. I did not see it. They came out today, committed a million false start penalties. Looked terrible.
they look terrible. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I
Bad.
am excited about the big win, but I also know that it's Pittsburgh. You know, they weren't they're not that good a team.
Oh, you weren't high on Pittsburgh? I thought you were.
No, I thought I didn't think they were going to be this bad.
I'm gonna go back and check the tape. I thought you were into Pittsburgh. I thought you said that they look good. I didn't see the Kenny Pickett bandwagon, but
I think they were going to improve from last year. Yes, I did think that.
okay. What about your viewing technique? Did you pull the trigger and did you get the YouTube TV
I
NFL
did.
Sundays?
I got YouTube TV. I'm very happy with YouTube TV. Um, the Sunday ticket was a little different.
What did you notice?
Well, they didn't. At least I didn't find a channel that had like 8 games at one time. That's what I really wanted. That's what I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I did not watch the Red Zone channel today.
Oh, right. Were you a red zone guy before?
I do like it, but I didn't watch it today.
Okay. And what was the ease of use? How easy was it to get up on the screen? All that stuff.
Oh, it was real easy to use. It was really so. I like it. I just wish they would have had a channel that had like all 8 games, like
I
the
thought they
morning game.
I thought they were gonna have that. You couldn't find it? Was
I
there
maybe I
any?
couldn't find it, but I found there was one channel that had 4 games.
Oh, okay. So the
Maybe, and you
four,
know what? Now thinking about it, maybe it was multiple channels with with 4 games. I don't know.
yeah.
I just thought about that.
And with like the four square, you could pick and choose which game you want
Yeah.
in each
Which
box, and you had
audio? Yeah.
oh good. Any alternative audio you could listen to, or where you would hear like the network feed.
Yeah, I would just hear the network.
I see. Okay, so overall a good experience with
Yeah, I
YouTube
liked it.
TV.
I liked it.
Okay. All right, good statement, good endorsement for YouTube TV in week 1. I was anticipating a couple snags. I didn't see or hear anybody say anything was weird or anything didn't go off correctly
Right.
from it there. Also, we're back to NFL as a Sunday, as it being everyone's entire Sunday. It's also a good time to reacquaint yourself with what exactly is on network TV. I forgot that these shows exist when you see commercials for something called the Buddy Games, which looks like a weird reality game show thing. NBC had one called The Irrational. I don't know if you saw a commercial for that. That looked like a lot of fun. That looked like it was going to be very confusing and some sort of weird offshoot of Law and Order as well. So, and it all culminated with Sunday night, which I don't know if we've had a worse Sunday night game in 10
So
plus
start
years ever.
the season.
The worst game of the week was Sunday night.
Yeah. I mean, it was such a horrible and and doesn't it always feel like Dallas is on the bad end of these? Hey, they
Mhm.
won a big game, they kicked the Giants' asses.
They really did, and it was really to the point where Chris Collinsworth is out of ideas, Tirico is out of ideas. They don't know. They're showing fans in the crowd. They're looking for celebrities to show in the crowd. It really
Well,
was a lackluster end of the night.
Tirico had to be on his best behavior because I think he took some heat on Thursday night for saying that there was an asterisk next to the Lions win because Kelsey wasn't playing.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Did he?
I thought it was kind of a shitty thing to say too.
Did he call that game? I thought.
Yeah, it was NBC.
Oh, he did. Okay, I didn't know that. Well, the Chiefs didn't have Kelsey, Chris Jones, and one other person, right? Didn't they have 3 people
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
that
but
game?
I still don't think you should say it's an asterisk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not like the loss counts for anything
Right.
different because somebody is injured. And Al Michaels retired, right? I forgot. I had to catch up. Like, why is Tirico in here week 1? But Al
Yeah,
Michaels retired.
yeah, he retired.
Okay. Well, let's speed through Sunday night since nothing really happened other than I watched commercials for the Irrational.
Right.
Okay. Also, I feel like this was almost a little bit of an insult to the city of New York. We had all this like tribute stuff, happen at the beginning and the Giants go out and lose by 40 points.
It's such a terrible game, and
uh it
it
was
is
20
sad
to
because
0 in no time.
because they do the beautiful 9/11 moment of service, moment of silence.
Yeah, Queen Latifah sings the national anthem, which I thought was really good. Did it surprise you that Queen Latifah is an Oscar winner?
No,
Or
not at all.
sorry,
I'm a big
Oscar nominee.
nominee. Yeah, I think she's a very talented person.
Do you know what she was nominated for?
Higher learning.
Wow, I didn't think you had that in your bag. Chicago.
Oh,
Not
Chicago, really?
Chicago. Yeah. Yeah. How many Queen Latifah movies can you even name? I couldn't name any other than the Jimmy Fallon one where she drives a taxi cab. And I knew she didn't get nominated
Oh,
for
there's
that.
that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But I didn't know
she
she
didn't.
was,
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't know
she,
she was even in that many movies.
that was also the one with Giselle Bundchen, wasn't it?
Oh, was she in it too?
Yeah, she was like the real hot Brazilian model.
Oh, wow. She's got range. Maybe I should go back and rewatch that movie then. A couple surprises from this Dallas game. Mike McCarthy is now the offensive play caller.
Yep.
It worked tonight. Daniel Jones started hanging his head on the bench in the first quarter, and I don't think he stopped all game long. And I'm surprised we didn't have a fight. This game was prime for a fight. It's a blowout.
There was nothing they could fight. I mean, the Giants had no fight.
They really didn't. It was over and done. So much to the point where I think they did 6 minutes on Dak getting an 11-hour tattoo on his leg in the offseason. So much so that he was put under anesthesia for it to get a tattoo. How much more tattoos can we get? Does everything significant have to be a tattoo?
Probably.
I'm not a tattoo guy. I never think it looks good. I think it's cool, but it never does it for me. Would you get a tattoo?
I'm actually thinking about it in the next
Really?
maybe year or two. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to get though.
Really? You did not strike me as a tattoo guy. Are you pulling my leg?
No, it's something that I'm thinking. I haven't committed yet. I'm only thinking about it.
And what are you thinking about getting?
But I mean, I'd be foolish not to get the San Francisco 49ers logo.
Really? It's going to be sports related like this?
No, I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest with you.
But you are considering it.
I am considering it.
Like, have you considered location? Like, where do you think it would be?
I don't know. I was thinking my arm.
Uh-huh. Bicep, forearm,
shoulder.
Okay. But you have no inkling of what you would get. Art design, a name, maybe Carmona in Old English.
No, I don't know. For sure not that. Not that.
in case you forget your name for some reason. I'm surprised by this. I never saw you as a tattoo guy.
I'm only thinking about it.
Okay. All right. Okay, quick question. To me, there was 3 big losses today. Who do you think had the worst loss? Cincinnati, the Giants, or Pittsburgh?
Oh, the Giants. It was just such a, to get blown out that way. Yes. Terrible.
Yeah, it's almost as if you're like, all right, guys, we have to start the season week 2. Forget about all this. It was just rough. It was rough to watch that Sunday night. And that was one of the games I was looking forward to most all Sunday, and it was over so quick. And now I'm thinking, like, we said Arizona was going to be the worst team of the season. I think the Giants might be the worst team. They couldn't do anything. It was bad. It was ugly. There was nothing good. I don't even know if they crossed their own the 40. I don't know if they got inside of Dallas's 40-yard line. It was horrible. They missed a field goal. It was nasty. One more big picture question before we talk about the games themselves. Do you have people in your life who don't watch football? Is there anybody in your life who just really isn't into it, doesn't really watch or know?
My wife says that I ruined football for her.
Is that right?
Yes. And it's possible. It's possible.
But your wife is into football.
She was, but she's really not anymore.
Oh, really? What do you mean? She says you ruined football for
I think my fandom ruined her experience.
her. Yeah, I get that part, but how did your fandom ruin it for her?
I think I mean, if you're trying to have a nice Sunday fun day and your husband's checking his phone like there's like a side piece or something, yeah, then it's gonna be ruined.
Was this a specific time that was this a one event thing where this
Oh no,
happened, or was this
I
over
think
several Sundays?
it was something over maybe the course of 3 seasons.
Oh, really? So you're going out to brunch or something, looking at your phone all the time, and she's
Right,
giving you a hard time. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And what's your
right.
response when she asks you that?
Yeah, and my response is I stop asking me to be anything less than a man.
That was your response.
No.
You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you would be a tattoo guy. So you ruined football for your wife, and she doesn't watch anymore.
She does not watch anymore at all.
Wasn't she like an Eagles fan or something unusual?
She's a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, actually.
Oh, she's
So,
Steelers.
so today would have been probably a fun day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys could have got divorced over today.
Right.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's
So
for the best.
maybe it saved our marriage.
Yeah, yeah. You can't have two sports fanatics in a marriage. It seems like one person has to be more than the other, and the other has to tolerate them, and then you tolerate what they're fanatical about.
For sure.
I can't imagine being with someone who's into the Raiders as much as I am. Yeah, I just think it'd be too much fire. It'd be too much fire, and there'd be a lot of angry Sunday nights. I think. I've experienced this with my own family where everybody is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and then they get into fights at the grandma's house, at the uncle's house over either how the Cowboys are being robbed or how the Cowboys are bad or coaching decisions. I've seen fights, I've seen walkouts during Cowboy games. The Quincy Carter years come to mind, where I had several uncles just kind of bail third quarter, just leave. Like, where'd such and such go? Like, he left. He couldn't stand watching the game with us anymore. He just left.
Yeah. In fact, your uncle texted me today.
What'd he say?
Just wishing me a good, you know.
I don't have any kids, if I ever had a child, I fully expect to not get a text from some uncles. But if the Raiders went 7-5, I will get a text from some uncles.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's just how they talk. That's just their lifeblood. That's the language of some of my uncles. It's based around my team's football records. So, all right, let's talk some games because there were good games on today.
Oh yeah, I think of the Chargers Dolphins was a pretty good game.
Yeah, that was a really good game. That was a late game. And
right.
I'm flipping it with between all these games, and that was like the third game on my screen that I'm keeping tabs on, but it's high scoring. Tua has, I wrote it down, 466 yards passing. This game is going back and forth. And this was the weirdest thing about this game. This game ends on a defensive stop.
Right. Yep.
That was so strange because the Dolphins score. There's a minute 45. I think the Chargers still had 2 timeouts.
And they missed remember the Dolphins missed the extra point.
Right. So they were up 2. And in my head, I'm like, Chargers are winning this game. I'm so used to the offense getting the ball back with a little bit of time and winning the game. And they didn't even get a first down. The Dolphins defense comes out of nowhere.
Right.
Sacks Herbert.
Make some huge plays.
That was a great, great game for not only nice to see Tua like play injury free and have a good game, but like that was really a great AFC back and forth game, almost like a throwback to the Fouts years and stuff like that. That was a really good game. Are you surprised though at the high score or the performance?
The Dolphins can put up points. They got some great receivers.
Tyreek Hill was awesome today too. He was yelling on the sideline too, like cheering people on.
No, it was fun to watch. It was a good game. Did you notice today also in the afternoon games, all the road teams won?
I have that down. The road teams went 10-5 this week.
Crazy. That's kind of
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah. Road teams was a big showing for the road teams. The other thing, there was a ton of stories on Tua coming off of the offseason and what was happening last year with him and his injuries. Tua put on 10 pounds of muscle. He got a new tattoo and he has a new helmet this year. And he took jujitsu. So all that being said, why do I not feel any more confident in Tua's health? I don't think there's anything you can train to protect your head. How confident do you feel that Tua's going to start every game or not get injured?
That's a big question. I mean, I think the ceiling for a guy like Tua, it's very high. I mean, he's a very talented young quarterback. But yeah, you're right. It's just going to come down to, can he stay healthy? But here's the thing: if the Dolphins stay healthy, that's going to be a tough out, I think.
Mm-hmm. They looked really good, and like you said, if Tua stays healthy, he looks like he is throwing the ball different too. It seems like it's coming out of his arm differently. He had some on the dime passes today. He had a couple weird ones. He got a couple ones where he threw it into like three guys converging into each other.
Yeah.
But I think the old Tua would have had 2 or 3 of those, and I think he had 1 or 2 of them today.
Right.
That was a really good game. All right, let's talk early games. The most skippable. No, this wasn't my most skippable, but it was close. Carolina and Atlanta started us off. And I have one question for you, Omar Carmona. Do you know who Desmond Ridder is? You don't know? You're not
quarterback for the Falcons.
I was going to say, you're making a face, Omar. This is radio. Yeah, he's the quarterback of the Falcons. I had to look it up too, because I was thinking, like, I don't know a single player on Atlanta's team.
Well, they got that young running back, Bijan Robinson. He's from UT.
Okay.
He's good. But the thing is about these running backs is, like, what we're seeing is like these top-notch, drafted high running backs. I mean, their shelf life is only 4 or 5 years. It's.
I think it's 2 years.
Yeah, it seems like maybe Saquon's only had 2 good years.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Gurley's already out of the league.
I asked about Todd Gurley today too. I was like, remember Todd Gurley? We're talking about it as an MVP, and he played half a season the following season, and I don't know where he is now. Zeke was another one.
Zeke.
Do not pay running backs. The days of running backs are over.
It just seems like in recent memory, the 3 I can think of that lasted, Adrian Peterson lasted a good while. Frank, I know he's a Niner, and but Frank Gore had a long career.
Mm-hmm.
Tomlinson, had a decent.
We're talking 10 years ago.
But we're talking 10. Guys that guys that had their prime, 15 years ago.
Well, answer the question right now. Who's the best running back in the league right now? I mean, after today, okay, we can say Pollard, but like, take week 1 out of it. Who is the best running back? I mean, is there a premier running back? I don't think so.
There is, because like a guy like Christian McCaffrey, the reason why he's valued so high is because of his value as a pass catcher.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just brings, to an offense like Shanahan's. I mean, that you just can't put a price on what a pass catching, athletic running back brings to your scheme. But, as far as who's the bell cow, who's the guy that you can count on for 20 to 25 carries a game, does that running back even exist anymore?
Well, I'm looking at all the teams now, and the only one I can think of is Derrick Henry, Tennessee.
He's a good one. I think he's probably the closest.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of. Josh Jacobs for the Raiders had a good game today, but I would say, like, show me the premier running back. I think Derrick Henry is the only one you name. So, it's a weird time for running backs. Like you said, McCaffrey is good because he has so many other skills. He's not the guy who lines up behind the quarterback and runs off
No,
tackle. He's a different type
no.
of running back.
And the thing is, because as a coach, they would hang you if you ran a guy like Christian McCaffrey, right up the middle 25 straight times.
Not his thing. Not his specialty.
It's sad for them because the one thing that hurts their career the most is exactly the reason they get paid. You know what I mean? But getting the ball, that you're going to get your finances in order, but also understand that the more carries you take, the less likely you're going to get a second big deal.
Yeah,
it's just not gonna happen.
It's like putting city miles on your tires over and over again. You're just going to wear them down quicker. I remember all the running backs Belichick went through over the dynasty Patriots here. There was a new one every year. Denver did a little bit of this for a while. I remember there was Terrell Davis, and then when he left, they had a new one in there that did pretty good, and then they had a new one in. So I think that the trend is there that the running backs are somewhat interchangeable and disposable. The only secondary note to put a button on it is the best running backs block these days. Josh Jacobs had some great blocks protecting. Zeke Elliott is a great blocker. That little extra as well. All right, let's continue on the game. Cincinnati at Cleveland.
Oh, what happened there?
Head scratcher here.
Real head scratcher.
Cincinnati 3, Cleveland 24. It was a rainy game. Joe Burrow looked pissed off and upset. He was wearing a headband, and Joe Burrow has long hair now.
Well, when you make that kind of money, I mean, you can do whatever you want with your hair.
Surprise there. They lose in the rain at Cleveland. Nothing really looked that good from Cincinnati at all. So I'm wondering if they rebound or don't. So just put your money on something. Does Cincinnati rebound or do they not? Meaning, do they make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they're still. I even think they're still the best team in that division. So I'm gonna say, and I'm not saying that the Cleveland Browns are going to win a Super Bowl. I'm not. Okay, I'm for sure not saying that. I don't think, I could see them fighting for a playoff spot at the end of the year.
Okay. Were you impressed by the Browns?
I was. The defense, I was. Absolutely.
I'm glad you brought up, are the Browns going to make the Super Bowl? How much are you on the Detroit Lions hype that started on Thursday night into Sunday morning? That is how emotional we get. Speaking of emotional, I was listening to my friend's podcast, No Credentials, and I was listening to his picks, like who he picked for Sunday. He picked Cincinnati because he thought Deshaun Watson isn't really sorry for what he did. That's how emotional we are. If someone does something we don't deem as moral, we pick against them. Somehow that translates to the field. And Detroit is like this too.
Does that make us soft?
I think it makes us human. We're just swayed. We're just swayed by our emotions and what we deem as moral and how we think the universe should be right. He was like, I can't pick Deshaun Watson. He doesn't seem sorry. And I was like, Sean, what are you talking about here? What is this sports show you're doing? You think morality translates into performance? It's insane. That being said, I need to check my own emotions as well because the Raiders won today and I got too high on them. All right. I don't have this as a category, but I might as well put it in there. This game is called Did You Watch? Did you watch Jacksonville at Indianapolis? Because I sure didn't.
No, I didn't. But a team that, Jacksonville is definitely an improved team as well too. I think that Trevor Lawrence has made some excellent progression since he was drafted, and not only drafted but really to survive Urban Meyer. I think I think that speaks a lot to him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think after that whole experience with Urban Meyer, I think he could have said, get me the hell out of Jacksonville. I'll never sign with you guys when my contract's up. Get me but he never did that. I think he liked what the personnel decisions that were made, and I think they recognized that um I guess the virus in the locker room was the head coach. They get rid of him, and now it seems like things are looking up.
Urban Meyer was out of there pretty quick, though. I don't know if Lawrence really had to have that conversation yet, because what wasn't Meyer out like in 4 weeks, 5 weeks,
6 weeks, right? And
was it
maybe
6? Okay, so he was out of there pretty quick, and then they had that great end of the season run where even though they lost that playoff game, like I felt like they won the end of the season. I felt like they went out of the season feeling really, really good
Right.
about how it ended, and they start off this week with a win over Indianapolis, 31-21. Okay.
But what is it? What's the quarterback's name? Anthony Richardson for the Colts. Let's watch him. I think he's.
You like him?
I like him.
Okay. That was another away team that won. Here's another away team that won, and I oddly have the most questions about this game. Tampa Bay beats Minnesota 20-17.
That's another head scratcher. All of a sudden, it's
we both were down on Tampa Bay last week. We're like, this team, they don't know who their quarterback is. We don't know anybody.
And then Baker Mayfield kind of looked like a leader today. That's weird.
Yep. So overreact or underreact to Tampa Bay winning?
Overreaction.
Overreact. So they're good.
No. I'm saying. I think you're overreacting if you think you're good. They're
okay. Opposite.
Yeah, they're not good. They're not good.
Did it seem Minnesota had gray face masks? Did they not have gray last year? They look different to me.
Yeah. No, they had just like a purple.
They had purple last year.
Right.
Okay, so there was. I thought they looked.
I like the gray. That's how they used to have it.
You like okay? I thought they were different. Here's a quick stat line. Baker Mayfield had 173 yards passing. Kirk Cousins had 344. I looked at the box score. Nobody really rushed for any yards at all in this game, either team. And I really searched. I don't think any team any one player had 100 yards rushing today. I don't think. I got to check the box scores again, but I'm looking through. I'm like, did anybody rush for 100 today?
But I can't think of anybody that Oh, yes.
Who was it?
McCaffrey did.
Oh, did he? Maybe I overlooked him. San Francisco put up some points today and some stats.
I want to say like McCaffrey rushed for 153.
All right. Well, while you check that, Minnesota was another one where I thought this is a tortured fan base. I don't know if they're going anywhere, but then again, Kirk Cousins puts up stats and he just tricks us for about 8 or 9 weeks every single year. Is it fool's gold to follow Minnesota? I haven't looked at their schedule, but why do I get the feeling they're going to get into the playoffs again this year?
Yeah, I know. But then they were also the victims of the worst comeback in NFL history, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that to say that they are going to go deep into the playoffs, that's foolish. They're not.
I'm not saying deep, but why do I think we're going to have to talk?
I don't even think they're going to be in the playoffs, to be honest.
Okay. You don't think so? I think they are.
I think the Lions have a real good chance to win that division.
Mm-hmm. Next game, Tennessee at New Orleans. I had my finger on this one because I wanted to see how Derek Carr played and looked, and he looked pretty good. He had 305 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was 23 for 33. He got sacked 4 times, but he made the play of the game. He made a great completion. New Orleans beats Tennessee at home, one of the rare home winners today. That was a fun game. Tennessee was up for the challenge. So Carr, I was a little happy to see the guy get the win in week 1. He looks good in a Saints uniform. So
I liked it too. Is Jameis still there?
I think so. I think he's the number 2 QB now. And I didn't look close enough to see if Taysom Hill got plays in at quarterback. So I'm still figuring out this New Orleans team, figuring out what is actually what. And also, I mean, we don't know if Tennessee was good or not. So we don't know if it's a good win or not yet. So that's back to my week one overreaction, underreaction. All right, let's go through these two games because I want to get to your game. Arizona at Washington. This is the game I thought was going to be the worst of the day. Ended up being a pretty fun game. 20-16. Arizona wins. Okay, so do you think Arizona is going to lose all their games this year?
They're did you like that video I sent you? It was like their coach trying to hype them up, and it was just so awkward.
No, I didn't see that. You sent me that video?
Yeah, I'll see if I can but it was just a terrible, he wasn't very convincing. I do think that if you are playing in these survivor leagues that we are seeing so much of, be smart this year and just follow Arizona.
That's a good idea. I get the
Yeah.
feeling Arizona is going to lose by 4 points for 9 straight games. Type.
Oh,
I get the feeling like that. I get another team where I don't even know who a player is on their team. Yet they played pretty good. It's 16-20. They gave Washington a run for it. Ended up being an exciting game. I liked Washington. They had some good plays on offense.
that's one. Okay, so I'm seeing here really quick. Let's go back. The top rushing performances thus far: Christian McCaffrey 152, and he carried the tote 22 times.
Really?
That's big.
22 carries for 150. That's just as rushing. I'm impressed.
Fact, he led the league in attempts.
22 attempts. Wow.
Austin Eckler, 16 for 117. And Nick Chubb, 18 for 106.
Okay, so we had some 100-yard rushers. Eckler looked good today. You're right. I forgot about him. The Chargers looked really, really good, I thought. I think Miami might have a really good team this year.
You know, the sad thing about the Chargers, though, is they I think they look good too, and I think they're going to win some games. They gotta do a job. They got to give Herbert time to throw the ball.
Yeah.
If that line's not going to block, and the line basically collapsed.
Yeah. They did.
The last two plays.
The blitzes really confused the line, and that was the difference of that last drive. I mean, Herbert had no chance against that blitz. It's not like, oh, take a step here, maybe he could extend the play. He had no chance. The defender was on top of him from the snap.
Yeah.
Okay, Arizona, Washington, Houston at Baltimore. This is the game I called the highlight game. I just watched the highlights later.
It was a close game in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously Baltimore took a little time to get ready. They lost their stud running back J.K. Dobbins for the year. He's really like our first big, Achilles injury, in the early weeks. Unfortunately for them, but that was I'm not very high on the Texans this year.
Mm-hmm.
This year.
Wow.
I may be buying stock next year.
Wow, really? You're gonna buy stock in the Texans next year?
Next year, I'll buy some
stock. Get a tattoo next year. You're gonna be rolling in here, 65th Circuit judge with a tattoo and side bets on the Texans.
Side bets on it. Let's see what happens.
I feel like I don't even know you, Carmona. All right, are you ready to talk about your team?
Yeah, let's go.
San Francisco wins at Pittsburgh 30-7. Pittsburgh looked like they were in the preseason still. There was a point today on Sunday. Okay, I have the game up on the computer. I have the 2 games up on the network, CBS, Fox, and I'm flipping them. There was like 25 minutes where I didn't even watch any game action. It was like, all right, here we go. Oh, false start. Okay, all right. Oh, let me switch it. Oh, commercial. Oh, let me switch it. Oh, false start. Okay, let me switch to the other game. Oh, false start. I didn't watch any game for 25 minutes. It's how slow these games were moving.
Pittsburgh, that was a slow one, but we can cut to the chase here on the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
They look good. Their defense, their line, they have some rushers, and I think if you got a guy like McCaffrey rushing over 100 yards on 22 carries, and your pass rush is the way they played today, that is going to be a hard playoff team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm saying that they're my team, but right now, I mean, if you have these NFL power rankings up, arguably you'd have to put the 49ers right on the top.
Of the defense, yeah. How did you feel about Purdy coming off the injury?
He's not going to make a big mistake, and now he's 6-0. I mean, think about that.
Yeah, he really is. And he was on target with these passes. Not like he's throwing underneath every play.
No, he's got
he moves around a lot too.
He moves around, he's very nimble. No, I'm very, very happy. We've got a good rushing attack. We got, we have big targets, Ayuk, who was, highly touted receiver out of Arizona State, doesn't do much his rookie year, but seems like he's improved every single year since his disappointing rookie year.
He was really good today too.
And he was very good today.
Yeah. So there was a pass where like Purdy threw it and they showed the replay. I still don't know how Ayuk caught it. The defender is like right on top of him, has his back to it. Somehow it gets in between the defender's shoulder and Ayuk's chest, and he catches it. I swear, I don't know how receivers make the catches they do today. I don't know how the quarterback knows where to throw it, how they know how to catch it. It was impressive. The Niners were catching everything. Purdy looks good. So I looked up because, we did this last week and you picked the Niners to like go undefeated, which I thought you were kind of joking about. Next week, they're going to the Rams. The Rams won today.
The Rams did not look good today.
You didn't think so?
They look good though. I meant the Seahawks did not look good.
No, Seahawks didn't look good. No.
So I don't know, and hey, I was not buying off-season Geno Smith stock this
okay.
This
so no Geno for MVP for you.
No.
Okay. So going into the Rams next week, the Niners, what do you think about that game? They're probably going to be favored, right? They're away, so it's probably going to be a 3.5, 4.5 line would be my guess.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I do like I like the way they this 49er team stacks up against the Rams.
So overreact, underreact to the Niners win. It sounds like you're pretty high on this.
I'm high. I'm really high on
mm-hmm.
I'm really high on the 49ers chances this year.
Okay. All right, we can speed through this one. Green Bay at Chicago. Don't you feel bad for the Bears? They just can't beat Green Bay no matter who is the quarterback.
No matter who's the
This is another depressed franchise. We're like, they just cannot beat this team no matter who's on the team. That was a rough one to watch. I kept a small eye on that one. All right. Do you want to talk? We did Rams, Seahawks. We did Miami Chargers. Oh, Philly,
New England.
Okay, let's do that one because I have a lot to say about the Raider game. So let's do that one last.
Okay, but Philly, New England, good game. It was a very good game. Patriots were in it to the very end.
They got jumped on early though. It was 16-0 early, and they were fighting an uphill battle.
They were always fighting. They were always crawling back. But they're a good team, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm hoping they don't have that Super Bowl hangover, but I think I wouldn't be shocked if they do. I think Jalen Hurts, he has a lot to show me this year. If he can back the great year he had last year, if he can do that 2 years in a row, then we got to start talking who is the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah. So are you predicting they're going to have the slump, or you're waiting to see?
I think they are. I think they're going to slump.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But they do have some talent on the team. But I think that that Super Bowl hangover slump is just, it happens just too often.
Yeah.
Bet against,
I put a little bit on that this was another rainy game. We had a lot of rainy games today.
Yeah, Northeast was ugly.
Yeah.
And it's going to be ugly tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. We got one more tomorrow that could be a rainy game. It rained in Denver too. Um, Mac Jones got hot in this game.
He
Like
did.
they were down 16, and then Mac Jones, he throws for 316. He gets hot. Um, they had 3 possessions at the end, the Patriots, that they didn't score on any of them, and they lose the game. So they had still had a shot in this game. So I mean, we talked about Mac Jones all offseason. Like, is this the guy? Is this not the guy? I
You know
thought he
what's
played
funny?
well, but they petered out at the end. Three
Something
possessions, and they
something
didn't
to
do anything.
always look at is how much a team uh, um, really puts work into getting their backup quarterback situation right. And it seemed like the last few weeks there was a lot of like turnover with regard to the backup quarterback. And so that kind of makes you wonder, is this something because they're subconsciously like, oh, we have a problem with the number one guy, which is why we really need to get the number two guy right. Because it seemed like in Aaron Rodgers' heyday, Brett Favre's heyday, Aikman's heyday, it didn't matter who was backing them up. You know what I mean? It's like you just knew that these guys were gonna, but it just seemed like there was a little. You just wondered if Belichick was so sold on Mac Jones.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder how committed Belichick is to Mac Jones. This is the year to find out. But if they say they just barely missed the playoffs, now we're like, oh, now we got to make a call. I don't know. He throws the ball well. He looks good out there, but
I like him.
I don't know if that translates to wins. But they had those 3 possessions at the end where they came up empty every single time. So,
remember
that's a tough one.
The Patriots, they've been on a tailspin, haven't they, since the that Raiders game, the way they lost last year.
Oh, that's right. That was the best Raiders win of the year last year.
I think that was arguably one of the greatest finishes in NFL history.
Yeah, yeah. If it wasn't such a middle of the season, regular season game, I'm like, that would be in football lore.
Right.
How crazy that thing ended. Someone threw out the stat during the week that since Brady left, Bill Belichick is 25-25. So we there needs to be some rebuilding. There needs to be something. That's a very mediocre record.
Yeah.
They're in a tough division, sure, but that's not a Belichick team. So I think the talent needs to be reworked, and maybe Mac Jones is the guy. I'm willing to give him this season to find out. There's a lot of things I like about him. So I just don't know if it turns into wins. I guess we're going to test him out and see. Of course, they honored Brady in this game at halftime. I don't know if you saw that. Brady,
yes, and he did his customary entrance.
Yeah, he did like the fist bump, and he had his jersey on.
Right.
So I thought
he looked like he's lost a lot of weight.
I was gonna ask you, like, his hair was extra fluffy, and his jersey was like tucked in or something, or it didn't look like it was.
His arms look super skinny. Do you think that maniac stayed on the TB12 diet?
I wonder. Like, that jersey didn't look like shoulder pads could go underneath it. It was weird. And I almost thought, like, man, if the Patriots are down 17 and they honor Brady, he comes out in a jersey, how much convincing would it take? Like, dude, get him some pants and a helmet. Get in there. just let me just throw a couple deep outs, man. Let's see what happens.
Patrick was gonna bet the over half a Tom Brady NFL attempts this afternoon in Foxborough.
Oh, yeah, that's a good line. 1.5 pass attempts from Tom Brady on FanDuel. Yeah, that'd be an interesting bet. I was not bothered to, because Tom Brady is, I guess he's a part owner of the Raiders, but he went to the Patriots.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah, let's go into the Raiders game. Are you okay with Tom Brady leaving the Raiders to go on? I mean, I understand that it's his day.
It's getting honored.
Owner, dude, you got his business.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Or do you think it's because it's Tom Brady, he's always going to get a pass?
He's always going to get a pass, but I do want him to be ours. But it was an away game. They were honoring him. It is week 1. So I'll go, okay, let him do his thing with his former team that really isn't that far removed. That was 5 years ago. He was a Patriot. So not that long ago. Let him take his lap, and he can be in for our first home game. So it's okay.
Ooh,
It didn't bother.
how
I
about
didn't think
theory?
about it.
How about conspiracy theory? Omar is gonna say Tom Brady hates going to Denver.
I like that. Why does he hate Denver?
Didn't he have some big losses there?
Yeah,
And
Peyton Manning beat him once or twice, right?
Peyton Manning beat him there. And I also think that um I want to say that they had some good games back when when Champ Bailey and Tom Brady, they had
Mhm.
some good matchups and uh yeah, that's my theory. Tom Brady hates Denver.
Do you think they floated it to him? The New England Patriots said, "Hey, Tom Brady, we want to honor you. Pick your game that you want to be
Yeah, and
honored."
says, "Oh,
And he picked
Denver."
week one. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Well, I'm committed to the Raiders." Well, wait, when are they going to Denver? Week one? Oh, I'll go week one.
Yeah.
Let's do week
Yeah.
one.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. I'm
I
with
think
you.
we uncovered something.
All right. Okay. Raiders talk. And now
Okay.
I have a specific request for you personally. You need to be my own get back coach. You know how there's a coach that his one job is to hold the head coach away from the
Yes.
field because he gets too excited? You need to be that for me right now because I'm gonna tell you what I liked about Jimmy G. Jimmy G's
Oh,
biggest asset was decision making today. He made the right pass. He made the right runs as well. He was not overly he did every deep ball was either a catch or an incomplete. He had the one drive where he seriously fucked up, where they had it on the one and he fumbles first and goal. Second and goal, they run for like a couple yard loss. Third and goal, he throws one into traffic, gets intercepted. We don't even get any points. The old Raiders, the old Derek Carr would have packed it in at that point. But Jimmy G rallied and had some big throws. And then the biggest thing was he had the run. He had the first down run that got us. So, Omar, get me back off the field. Like, reel me back in here.
that okay. Yes, you just picked out and listed all the great things that Jimmy G did, and then you say, "Hey, but then this is a fuck up." Patrick, that's a real big fuck up,
It
okay?
was big.
And that's why when it comes to Jimmy G, you always got to be worried about that real big screw up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's bound to happen. And it's weird when it happens during wins. Because you yes, and you see his record as a starting quarterback, and you're impressed. He wins football games, but then it's like, okay, now you're playing a playoff game, and he remembered that win that he did week one, and that
Mhm.
like that could rear its ugly head again.
Right, right. That's true. No, it's a good point. Those little mess ups, because that was in the second quarter. Like, what if that had been first possession of the fourth? That would be like we go away with
Exactly.
no points. All we do is go backwards from the one.
And okay, now let's translate. That's not happening week one. This
Mm-hmm.
happens, with a healthy set of hands. Week one, but factor in your body's aching. Come a playoff game in January. You're playing in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna give you like a 7 on that one. You got me off the field, but I'm still in the referee zone. I'm still in the white. You've
Okay.
got me off. Okay. Second thing, do you need to reel me back in here? Josh Jacobs played pretty fucking awesome for not getting a ton of yards. He had so many 3-yard runs that would have been 2-yard losses. Like
Yeah.
Denver's got him and he squirms out of it. And we're like, oh my God, good. He's back to the line. Oh, wait, he got 2 yards. He pass blocked really well. He caught a few balls that was really well. I was like so glad that we got this contract signed and he was with us for week one because he saved our
Oh,
ass in the middle of the third quarter with just like good possessions. So, all right, talk me down off of Josh
ooh.
Jacobs
I
now.
don't know if I'm going to be able to talk you down on that point.
You're
I
coming
think
on the
I
field
think
with me?
I think I'm grabbing your the tail end of your polo, your
Mm-hmm.
dry fit polo. I'm trying to pull you back, but you're in there. You're in
Right.
the referee's ear.
Yeah, I'm hot. I'm hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
No,
with me.
he
You
played.
like,
He played well. He played well, and so that's why you paid him the big bucks, right?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Like we talk about running backs and don't pay him, but I mean, he was our safety blanket today.
Yeah.
Not like any huge play or just, but like doing all the little things
Did he
need to help.
fumble?
I don't remember. I don't remember a fumble. Did he? I just remember the only fumble was Jimmy G on the goal line.
I don't think he fumbled.
Okay, here's my next point. And this one is going to go a little biblical. When the Denver Broncos to start the game do an onside kick with Sean Payton's very first play as a Denver head coach, trying to throw it back to the New Orleans Saints onside kick Super Bowl win, and it fails. I think God is on the Raiders side, Omar. Talk me down from this one.
That was okay. But I don't know about that. I think that God, after the Ruggs incident and a few more of those that DB that you had, I think God's a little angry with the Raiders. For
what happened
to
a forgiveful God, Omar?
No, you got hey, evil had to be rid. Okay.
Well, fine. We're with the devil then. Fine. Make me say it. The devil wants us to win.
So that may be it. That may be the devil. So I'm pulling you back in.
Okay. I'm giving you a 6 on the pull me back in the field on that one. Okay. Last point. This game was kind of sloppy, as it turns out. The Raiders had a penalty, a fourth down jump off sides penalty that gave Denver a first down. They had a roughing the kicker penalty that was horrendous.
Horrendous.
Roughing the punter.
Okay, now penalty. I'm pulling out.
But flip it. Denver had some horrendous penalties. They had a helmet to helmet hit that gave the Raiders a first down. So they had some bad penalties too that gave the Raiders.
I think that Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, I think Sean Payton went into this knowing, hey, look, man, you just got to be with him for a year, and then we'll get him out of here. I think
talking about Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I'm talking about Russell Wilson. I think they sold it to Payton. We'll figure out a way to get your guy. But you
definitely
you got to stomach Russell Wilson for a year.
Russell Wilson had a bad fumble that got called back because of illegal contact or something.
So that's why I'm pulling you back, because that's a bad Denver team. I think.
Okay.
I just don't see. I think Sean Payton's a great coach. I really do think he's gonna. I think he may bring a championship to Denver at some point. It's definitely like a 5-6 year plan, but Sean Payton's that kind of coach. I just don't think with what he has now, we can't expect anything out of the Broncos.
Okay. So you can pull me back on that one. Then maybe the Broncos are not the greatest win, even though we did beat them by 1 point.
hey, wait. But here's the thing. And it's for you guys, that's in Mile High,
Yeah.
You check that one off,
That's a division win, Mile High. Last 2 points why I think God is on our side. We have a defender who wears the number 0. That dude was in every single tackle. I think his last name is Bennett. We have a defender whose last name is Diablo. And then lastly, I listened to the Las Vegas radio feed. One of the announcers is Matt Millen. He pulls no punches that he's rooting for the Raiders in the booth. Because there was a point where there's a first down and he just goes, yes. He is cheering in the booth. I love it.
Let me tell you something, but isn't that an Al Davis thing? It was like you are always going to take pride in being a Raider. So it kind of seemed like Al Davis had it, set to all his players is, I don't care if you're supposed to be impartial. I don't care what the job is. You're a Raider first.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's why you see outbursts like that.
Yeah, I love it. And in this day and age where anybody can broadcast the game, why not have the pro Raider channel? Why not have the anti-Raider channel? Why not have the neutral channel? Why not have 2 chicks that never even watch football channel? Let's have something for everybody.
I will tell you, I am going to be rooting for the Raiders. I think it'd be so great for them to return. But here's this is me ultimately finally pulling you back into the sideline. McDaniels is your coach, and it's just not
God,
gonna happen with McDaniels.
you pulled me into the concussion tent with that one. Like I'm
Yeah,
off the field. You took me past the bench with the Gatorade. Now you put me in the
yeah.
blue tent, and I think that's a worthy criticism. Okay, can I tell you my personal saga of how I watched this game? By the way, I mentioned to you I listened to the Las Vegas radio feed, so I'm not watching it on TV because I didn't get the YouTube Sunday ticket. So I went to my pirated subscription because here on the West Coast they showed both LA Charger and LA Ram games on the network. So now I'm watching it on a pirate internet feed, but the feed keeps cutting in and out. And I think I watched collectively maybe 35 seconds straight of gameplay and it would stop. So I was like, well, I can't miss it. So I'll find the radio feed and I'll play it on top of the video. So I'm
Okay.
doing that, except the internet feed, the video feed is maybe 35 to 45 seconds behind the radio.
Oh,
So I'm in the future on the radio feed. So when I hear something on the radio, then then I look at the screen and like, all right, let's see what happened. Then I
yeah.
hear something. I'm like, okay, let's wait for that to happen. That's my saga of watching it on the non NFL Sunday ticket where I had the Vegas radio. And they do this thing where every time they make a point, they play this like guitar riff where it's like, the Raiders are 3 for 7 on third down. The Raiders are 9-0 against the Broncos. And they're like, so it makes me think we should have our own. Every time you make a point, a sound effect to play. I haven't figured out what yet, but I think we should have our own sound effect like this Las Vegas Raider feed has. And I think that would help us.
I'm rooting
Also,
for them. I'm rooting for them.
all right, well, let's keep going into the future. Next week, the Raiders go to Buffalo.
Big
That
test.
is going to
Big
be a
test.
huge test. Second week on the road into Buffalo. We don't know if Buffalo is good, super good, or elite yet. Big test, but I really like Jimmy G's decision making. I think he won us this game that last drive. Kept the ball, didn't make a dumb pass, didn't take a sack. Remember how many sacks Derek Carr took last year in bad
Oh, I
situations?
know. I mean, yes, obviously, but we'll see. It's going to be a big test. It's going to be a
and
big test.
and last point, you know how I always say Jimmy G looks like he's thinking about something dumb. I have now upgraded him to he now looks like he's thinking about something gross.
Oh,
He looks different now. He looks a
I
little
like that.
different than years previous. So all right, you successfully got me back to the sideline a little bit, but
Okay.
I'm still going to need help walking it back. Great games, fun week 1, some head scratchers, but some fun ones as well. Now, this is week 1 for us to remember, but I have a game for you.
Okay.
So let me see if I can bring it up because in weeks past, we've played a couple of guessing games, and I have something similar for you this week. It's week 1, and we are about to play a little game I like to call Ask Mom.
Okay.
You know the game. I ask my own mom questions, sports, pop culture, and beyond related, and you have to try and guess her answers.
Okay.
So let's give it a shot. Special week 1 Ask Mom edition. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Here's question number 1. Let's hear it. Notre Dame is in what state? All right. Did you hear the question?
Yes.
All right. Does my mom know where
She
University of North?
absolutely knows.
You're saying yes. All right. I'm going to put you down for a yes. How confident are you on that?
99.999.
Oh, okay. Why do you think she knows that? My mom's not like a big college football.
But she is Catholic, and good Catholics know exactly where Notre Dame is. And two, she does go to Chicago, and it's not too far.
Okay. All right. Let's take a listen. Does my mom know where Notre Dame is?
Iowa.
Hmm.
Oh, Really?
That is incorrect. Sorry, Omar. Off to a 0-1 start. You're very much like the Pittsburgh Steelers on that first question. Okay, couple more questions here. Let's see how you do. Next question. Okay. Name a movie starring Barbara Streisand. Okay. Can my mom name a movie starring Barbara Streisand?
Yes.
All
Can I get a bonus? I'll take one more. Um. Also a shot as to which movie she guesses.
Oh, really?
I think she'll take a shot at it, and she'll do Prince of Tides.
Okay, so not only are you saying yes, she knows, you're saying Prince of Tides. Have you seen that movie?
Long time ago.
Okay. All right, let's take a listen.
Oh my gosh, Prince of Tides.
Wow! Not only did you get it right, you guessed the exact title. Very good. That's one for you. All right.
Funny girl, funny lady. I could go on for days.
You left out the classic Yentl.
Yentl.
All right, next question. Name a football-themed movie. All right, now we're getting into the tough ones.
Rudy.
What do you
She'll
think?
name Rudy. She'll name Rudy.
You think Rudy?
Rudy.
Okay. Interesting that you're going Notre Dame on this one.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. Although, are there any other ones she could possibly? I wonder. I mean, she does have isn't there a Friday Night Lights poster on somewhere? Or am I making that up?
I don't know. I don't know about a Friday Night Lights poster in my mom's house.
I could have seen that some other house.
Not sure about that.
Okay, but I'm gonna say, is there any other football movie? That's all I can think of that she would possibly maybe Remember the Titans. I think she would like the message of that football movie.
So I'm going to lock you in on a yes.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
It's the one with the kid from Notre Dame, Rudy.
All right, you got it. You got it, Omar. All right, you've got 2 right, 1 wrong. Kurt Warner played for 3 teams. Can you name one? All right, what do you think? Are you sensing the theme I went with here?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's why you're my get back coach.
She will not know.
You're going with the no. You sound confident.
I'm pretty confident.
Do you know the 3 teams Kurt Warner played for?
Rams, Giants, Cardinals.
It was just those 3, right? There wasn't a 4th one in there somewhere?
No, that was it.
Okay. All right.
I mean, unless no, wasn't he brought in? But unless did he get a contract from Green Bay?
Oh, you're right. Early on, Kurt Warner. Yep. Yeah, so she could say Green Bay.
He was a Favre backup.
Okay. Well, the game is not Ask Carmona, 65th Circuit potential judge. The game is Ask Mom. So let's find out if she knows. Do you know who Kurt Warner is?
No.
All right, none. She did not know, and you were correct, Omar. All right, you're on a bit of a hot streak here. You've got 3 correct, 1 wrong.
Okay.
St. Louis Rams, Arizona, and New York. I thought you might know because he was a Jesus guy. He was a big religious quarterback guy. All right. She didn't know. One left-handed quarterback. Okay, what about that?
Ooh.
Can you name one left-handed quarterback?
Steve Young.
All right, very good. Just checking. Does
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick. Oh, please. Hey, Kaepernick, is he going to play this year? Oh, wait, it's been 6.5 years. I don't think he's going to
I
play.
know, right?
Did you ever buy a Kaepernick jersey? I don't think you did you?
No, I did.
That's not a confident. That's not a confident no.
No, but I think I got my kid a Kaepernick jersey.
Oh, wow.
She will not name a left-handed quarterback.
So you're going no.
So,
locking
right.
you in?
Yeah.
On a no. All right, you're on a hot streak here. Let's find out. Does my mom know a left-handed quarterback?
No, never. No, will not know.
Wow, she was very emphatic that she did not know. 4 in a row, Omar. You're on fire. I think I'm going to have to be your get back coach. All right. You're on a hot streak. Couple more to go. We're rounding the corner. Next question.
Roger Staubach.
She didn't get that one. Sorry.
And that's the one. That was the one fear that she was just going to take a stab and get But I think it's even hard to name left-handed quarterbacks.
Right. Yeah, you'd have to really follow the game.
Right.
To know that. And my mom is a casual.
And they're not quarterbacks that you would even from a non-football fan would names that would be thrown out there. Yeah. I wouldn't expect your mom to ever heard the name Boomer Esiason. You know what I mean?
Wow. Can you imagine my face if she had thrown out Boomer Esiason? Like, Mom, was I adopted? Who are you? Is my mom an alien? I mean, I would have to incorporate video into these questions from now on just to get my reactions. All right, here we go. You're on fire. Let's see if you can keep it going. That was incorrect. What tennis player did Brooke Shields date?
Andre Agassi, and she was about to say it.
All right, you probably knew that one anyway.
Oh, your mom loved that story.
Andre Agassi.
She's even happy with her answer.
I remember. She loved that story.
Let's listen to her answer again. See if we can date.
Andre Agassi.
Yeah.
That's my mom very happy that she knew it. Knew the answer to that. All right, you got that one right. Okay, you really know the game. Ask my mom.
There you go.
Andre Agassi. All right, next question. All right. Either or. Kevin Costner or Richard Gere? Okay, this is an either or question. Which one would my mom prefer? Kevin Costner or Richard Gere? Both very heavy mom favorites as far as actors go, I think.
They are.
You know.
But I think she will be falling in with the popular opinion on this one. Because I want to say the popular opinion of ladies that age will never forget a young Richard Gere.
Oh, is that right?
So I think it's Richard Gere.
Okay. What movie comes to mind when you think Richard Gere?
Officer and a Gentleman.
Okay. I'm thinking you and I would think that. I'm thinking ladies are going to go Pretty Woman as their pick for which,
right.
or My Best Friend's Wedding. Yeah. Okay. So you go Richard Gere. What about Kevin Costner?
He's probably the next guy in that. But when it comes to him in that age, Richard Gere is that guy.
He is that guy, and Kevin Costner's in there too. I think it's a tough one. What would your mom say? What do you think?
Oh, hands down, is Richard Gere.
Really? Okay. You go Richard Gere. And what's the movie you think of with Kevin Costner?
Me? Robin Hood.
Robin Hood? Wow. I would not have said Robin
how
Hood.
about a Field of Dreams, of course.
Field of Dreams. Yep. I would go Field of Dreams or Bull Durham, I think would in there. I wouldn't go Robin Hood.
Tin Cup.
I like Tin Cup. A very flawed movie, but I like it. I like when Kevin Costner or like The Star, sometimes Tom Cruise falls in this category too. I like when they play dumb. I like when they're kind of a dumb guy where they're kind of down and out and they're kind of funny and comedic about it.
Yeah.
All right. So the question was Kevin Costner or Richard Gere, and you went with Richard Gere. All right. Lock you in on Gere.
Richard Gere.
And
You
see,
got it.
it sounded like even it was almost offensive that she
Right?
was asked.
I'm not sure I like the way she answered that question.
So yeah, but it's yeah, Richard Gere.
Mm-hmm. Wow, you
But
really,
it's an easy question for them.
yeah, you're running the table on this one. All right. I think this is the last one. Maybe two more. Let's listen. Last question. Last one. The movie Boogie Nights is about what? Okay, now we've crossed a line potentially here. Does my mom know what the movie Boogie Nights is about?
No.
You're going to say no. Are you a big Boogie Nights guy? Do you like Paul Thomas Anderson movies?
It was okay.
Just okay? Didn't it win
It was
didn't it
okay.
win awards?
Yeah.
Just okay. Why do you say just okay? It was like
I mean,
a groundbreaking movie.
The story to me didn't. You know what? I will give it its the respect it probably deserves and watch it again.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm flipping you on this one. That's what a good get back coach does. All right, so you're unsure on Boogie Nights, but the question was not that. The question, does my mom know what the movie Boogie Nights is about? You said no.
Yeah, no, she does not.
No clue.
Wow. Never seen Boogie Nights? Oh, you never seen it? All right. Those are the questions.
Really?
Wow, my mom has never seen Boogie Nights.
I don't know. I don't even know if it's like that interesting of a story.
Really? I think it's a very interesting story.
Well, you know, it is. It is. I did see a documentary on it recently. Oh, big shout out. Documentaries. You gotta watch the Kimye divorce.
Watch, really? You're recommending that to me.
But everyone I've told today, because I saw it last night, said like, oh, like really, I don't like that stuff. Like keeping up. It is not keeping up with the Kardashians.
Okay.
Like it is extremely dark.
Huh. Wow, look at this. We've never had a recommendation on the show before. This is our very first one. This might be the year our show goes big time, and it might be because of this recommendation. We might finally crack the algorithm.
All right.
All right. Okay. That was the Ask Mom game for week 1 in the NFL, which I thought went pretty good. I thought those were good questions. I thought you answered them very well. I thought we got insight into how my mom's brain works as well.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Maybe for a future segment, I'll just have my mom read the synopsis of what Boogie Nights the movie is. I think that would be interesting to hear. That wouldn't be a game. We would just get to hear her read about a movie about porn. Okay. Week 1. The awards. We're here, Omar. Let's go through the awards. First one of the day is best quote. I had 3 nominees for my best quote of them. I got nominee number 1. This was from Jamar Chase. And it was, I'm just frustrated because I called their asses elves and we just lost to some elves.
Nice. Yeah.
That was Jamar Chase.
Yeah, he really did say that.
But hold on, I have the quote and I want to play it for you because it's pretty funny.
It's frustrating because I called the ass elves and we just lost to some elves, so I'm pissed on my part. I'm pissed on that. And like I said, man, we got missed opportunities. We didn't capitalize on that shit, and we lost.
That's right. You heard it, Omar. We didn't capitalize on that shit.
Yeah.
That was quote number 1. Quote number 2 was from Mike Tirico.
You really can't talk after you get beat 24-3.
They lost to a bunch of elves.
I mean, you just shouldn't say anything.
I'm just frustrated because I called their asses elves and we just lost to some elves. Quote number 2 nominee is from Mike Tirico. Only a Dallas touchdown in the third quarter. And lastly, I don't know if this is a true nominee, but if you went to the high school you and I went to, I think this would be pretty funny. This is from Chris Collinsworth describing one of the coaches. He knew he was sitting on something special. If you play that quote in our high school, that would have been entertainment for hours. I'm gonna give my award to Jamar Chase. What about you? Or do you have a nominee of your own?
For the what category?
Best quote.
Oh, I didn't pay much attention to anything that was being said.
All right. Well, moving on. I'm gonna give you a pass on that one. The hot take award. And I had one. I mean, I had a million of how I thought the Raiders were gonna go to the Super Bowl. But my hot take is that Russell Wilson is gonna run for office in 1 to 3 years. I just see him.
I like that. I like that hot take.
Might be lukewarm take. I don't even know if it's that hot.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
All right. What about yourself? Do you have a hot take for the week?
Hey, Dallas Cowboys are going to win the division.
Oh, wow. Hot take. Hold on. We got Dallas, Philly, Giants, Washington. So Dallas over Philly.
Yeah.
That's a hot take from you.
Yeah, that is, because that wouldn't come. But they look good. That defense looked stout tonight.
Are you inspired by Dak Prescott because he got a 11-hour tattoo?
There's nothing inspiring about Dak Prescott. If they win, it is despite Dak Prescott.
Wow. Okay. I want to see what tattoo you're thinking. This has been the most absurd thing I've ever heard from you. You might get a tattoo. All right. Next award. This one's new for this year. This one's called Best Innovation. All right. I mentioned earlier that there were 4 games that had rain today. So you know what my best innovation is? The umbrella / poncho.
Oh.
Somewhere in history, someone was like, look at this material, repels water. Let's put it over our heads and thus we will stay dry. And then someone's like, let's build a shirt out of plastic and we won't need to hold the umbrella. So best innovation, the umbrella and the poncho.
Right now, I'm really digging the design of helmets. I think they look really sleek, and I saw Zeke Elliott's looks like really sharp.
Yeah, a couple have that. That helmet is new, like last year or something.
Right, and
very sleek.
It is very sleek, and I'm kind of glad that the league is, letting that kind of be a thing. Mm-hmm. I think it's starting to be a thing.
A couple of guys had that helmet, and they had the clear visor attached to it as well. Yeah. Or like, I think Raider guy had the dark visor on that same helmet. It looked very cool. Very like RoboCop sleek helmet. Very shiny too. Oh, so you're going the new helmet.
Yeah.
Very good. Next award, the Cringeworthy Award. We had this one last year. I don't think it's ever going to leave. I have 2 nominees. Number 1 Cringeworthy Award is the Bears' loss all around. Losing to the same team twice a year for the last 10 years is completely cringeworthy. Nominee number 2 is everything the Giants tried to do today. And I include from the start of Sunday, the breakfast they eat, the bus route they took, everything was wrong and cringeworthy about the Giants today.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow's your cringeworthy?
That was mine, because you just the expectations were so high. Getting a big deal, which he deserves. Cincinnati did not have a quarterback since Carson Palmer. Was peak there in Cincinnati. So, but to come out like this, I could understand sometimes a hard fought game. You're 0-1, but to come out like that, it's just very cringeworthy for me. That's a disaster.
That's a good cringeworthy. I will agree. That was rough. That was rough to watch. Next award, Best Costume Design. This is a new one. I have 3 nominees. We had a lot of trades this offseason. So quarterbacks in new uniforms this year. Jimmy G, Derek Carr, Zeke Elliott's in a new uniform. Other nominees are Joe Burrow's hair and the Minnesota face masks. Those are my nominees, but I'm going to go players in new uniforms as my best costume design.
Best costume design? Is it even really a costume? Bill Belichick. In the rain, it looked like the most comfortable outfit out there.
That's a good Bill Belichick's attire in general.
Yeah,
it finally, some award.
It's on a rainy day like today when you say, "Huh." Oh, he gets it.
Oh, best costume that you went Bill Belichick. I'm gonna go those new Minnesota face masks. They look cool.
Yeah.
Next award. This one's called Advice Alley. You can give advice to anybody and anything on this Sunday. Mine is don't overreact. But if your team won, I give you the full right to overreact. So if you won, you're 1-0, go nuts. It could end tomorrow. So my advice is if your team won, enjoy it.
Basketball,
enjoy
it. But my message, Advice Alley to Jerry Jones, do not, I repeat, do not let Dak Prescott lose this potential championship for you.
Well, you had me on the edge of my seat there, dragging it out on that one. Do not lose this potential winning chance. Okay. All right.
This window of opportunity with this and some weapons you have on offense. Don't let Dak squander it.
Oh, okay. I would like to hear you have a discussion with Jerry Jones, actually.
I think that'd be something.
Next category, new one. This one's called the Sunday Double Feature. After this Sunday, what movie would you pair this Sunday with? I got one and one nominee only. So this is the beginning of the season. It feels like school is starting. The summer is officially over. So I went with The Karate Kid. When he moves to Reseda, they have the end of the summer beach party. Then he goes to school the next day. He tries out for soccer, gets kicked off the team.
Right.
And there's even a part when his friend Freddie Fernandez says, we're having a party, adios summer.
Right.
So I went with Karate Kid, end of the summer movie. Just throw it on third quarter, not even third quarter, halftime of Giants Cowboys. And
summer movie for me, Point Break.
Oh, good one. I like it. We both went West Coast.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, Point Break. I do like Gary Busey in that movie. He's giving Keanu Reeves like the lay of the land. He's like, LA, the air got dirtier, the sex got cleaner. We had a lot of movies like that in the 90s that we just as soon as they ended, you're like, started over. Let's watch it again.
2 breaks coming up.
Utah. Give me 2. Would you go get me a meatball sub? Would you there, partner? Thanks.
Best meatball subs.
He totally blows the sting operation by telling Johnny Utah to go get him subs when they're supposed to be watching the bank robbers. I knew this would be a good category for us. Last category, our last award. Who won the week? I have the Detroit Lions, away teams, and how about this one? The new ownership group of the Washington Commanders.
Ooh.
New owners of the Commanders, and they won week 1. That's pretty good. I'm going to go Detroit. I think Detroit is the winner of the week, but I think these are all worthy nominees.
Okay. I think winner of the week, definitely the underdog, Cleveland Browns. I think, to come out on a big division game like that, they won the week. Dallas Cowboys, I hate to say it, impressive.
Wow. I'm surprised that you say that, but you're high on the Cowboys.
I mean, hey, look, I think that Coach Dable in New York, I think that's a potentially good team, and so to get smashed like that, that's a big statement that the Cowboys made.
Yeah, I wonder in 6 weeks, are we going to look at week one and we're going to say like, oh man, the Giants took it on the chin and they turned it around. Or we're going to say like, ooh, that was a sign. This is a definite overreact, underreact potential that we need to go back to this game and say like, oh, that was a red flag. Or like, oh, look at Dallas was just on fire. This was just their year. All right, that was week one. I think you feel good about it. I feel good about it. However, there's one more game tomorrow night, Omar. Monday night, the Hard Knocks Jets and the Aaron Rodgers-led Jets go into Buffalo. How do you feel about this game? Pick the game. What do you think is going to happen?
The last 2 years, Patrick, you know how big on the Buffalo Bills I've been. I think they've been my prediction at least the last two go to the Super Bowl. So I see no reason to change. San Francisco, Buffalo, Super Bowl this year. I like the Bills to start the season off with a win tomorrow.
Has there ever been a Super Bowl prediction, Buffalo Bills 49ers, that has been less picked than that one over the last 25 years? I feel like I've heard Buffalo versus San Francisco in the Super Bowl since I was a child. I'm with you all the way, though. I think the Jets are frauds. I don't think they're good. I think we're drinking the Hard Knocks Kool-Aid. They're going to be fun, but there's no way they beat the Bills. They lose 24-14.
Yeah. It also seems like the Jets had other issues that just weren't always quarterback too. You know what I mean? So just because I think you put Aaron Rodgers in there, it's not a guarantee.
We're both in agreement. Bills over the Jets. San Francisco 1-0. Las Vegas Raiders and the handsome Jimmy G Raiders 1-0. Omar, we did not overreact. You played ass mom, and we predicted Monday night. Omar, that was week one. Thank you. And I will see you next week. That is it. That is the show. That is week one in the NFL. The Raiders are 1-0. That's all that matters. Well, other games happen too. Dallas coming out very strong. San Francisco, very strong. I don't know what to say. A lot of strong teams. Rams won. Miami won. Away teams won. How about you? Did your team win? Well, we've got a lot of NFL. Don't forget, if you're new to my channel, new subscribers, welcome. All my stand-up clips are on there, not to mention my YouTube interview series is up there. More interviews are going up very soon as well. Check it all out and give it a subscribe. It helps the channel. Well, that was week one. That was Omar Carmona. On to week two. All the updates are going up there. I hope you overreact if your team won. I want to thank everybody for listening. For me, Patrick Ramirez, and Omar Carmona, I will see you very soon in week two.